Hi everyone, I am Louise Labbe-Fahy. I'm the CE Director here at East Woodstock Congregational Church. I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about being strong in the Lord and what does that really mean and what does that look like. So I wanted to know, are you strong? And I thought I was pretty strong. I got some pretty strong lungs that God has given me. So I rolled up just a piece of paper into like a cone. And I have just a regular sheet of paper that I'm going to crumble. And this is really light. So I'm putting it in the cone, and then I'm going to try to blow it out. And I can't get it out. It makes me feel like, gee, I'm not really strong. I'm kind of weak. But if I take each piece by itself, I can do this. And why can't I just get it done? How am I going to make it come out? So, how are we going to do that? So, do you think you're strong? How many of you think you could make this come out? I want you to try that at home and let me know if you can make it come out. And what are the kind of things that you feel strong at? Are you play ball, maybe baseball, and you're really strong with the bat and you can really hit that ball far? Or if you play soccer, and strong can even mean different things. Are you strong in academics? Are you a really good student? So there's all kinds of ways of being strong. But I wanted to tell you about a story this morning that comes from the book of Judges. And Judges is part of the Old Testament. And as we know, the Old Testament is the time that we talk about before Jesus was born. So I'm going to tell you about a man named Samson today, and how Samson tried to be strong in his body and in the Lord. Samson was a man who lived a long time ago, and he was incredibly strong. He was stronger than many people put together. And God made Samson strong so he could defend the people of Judah against the Philistines, who were at that time enemies of Judah. So, a long time ago, a man named Samson lived in Judah. Samson was strong, and he flexed his muscles, and he had muscles on top of muscles. God made Samson strong physically, but he was also strong spiritually. He could do as God commanded. He only ate the food that God allowed, and he never cut his hair, because at that time, God wanted Samson to show and others that he was a special follower of God. And in those days, if you were a special follower of God, you just didn't cut your hair. It was one of the signs that they had. The Philistines were enemies of God's people. They, in fact, had killed Samson's wife. So Samson went to fight the Philistines for what they had done. He was not afraid, but the people of Judah were afraid. The Philistines' army was going to attack the people because of Samson. The people of Judah didn't want to fight. They wanted to hand Samson over to the Philistines so that they could go away and not bother them. They marched up to Samson, and they asked him if they could tie him up and give him over to the Philistines. They held up the rope that they wanted to tie him up with. Samson let the people tie him up with the rope to become a prisoner. The people of Judah thought that if Samson was given over to the Philistines, they would be made safe. Even though Samson was strong in the Lord, he was strong, and he was even strong in the Lord, stronger in the Lord. The people of Judah were afraid of the Philistines. They led Samson off toward the Philistine army. Samson was tied up, and the Philistines saw that he was their prisoner. The Bible says, the Spirit of the Lord came upon the power of Samson, and he broke the ropes and picked up the jawbone of a donkey. Samson fought the Philistines, and God gave him the strength to beat the Philistines. Samson got his power from God. We can see with God's power, anything can be possible and be defeated. Why do you think that God gave Samson such incredible power and strength? Do you think God gives us, his people, that same power today? And if he does, how? Or if he doesn't, why not? Samson used the power that God gave him to protect God's people from their enemies. We think we're strong, like I thought I could blow out the paper. But we're much stronger when we ask God to give us his strength. God will give us his strength, the strength we need for any problem. We can be strong because our power comes from God. We know that we can ask God to give us strength through all kinds of situations. God may not take away the difficult situations, which is important, but he can give us strength to get through these things or to help others. We can be strong in our power because of God. So before we end today, I wanted to just mention a few things. We still are collecting cards that we can send out, as well as food that we can send to Teague and Daily Bread for people during these times. So if you're able to do any of those things, there is boxes and envelopes on the ramp of the church, and you can feel free to drop those off anytime. One of the things I will be doing this week is I will be mailing out things to all the families that I have their mailing addresses for. And if I don't have your mailing address, or you think that I don't, you can contact me at cedirector@gmail.com and let me know, and I will make sure that I add you to my list. Or if you want to look on the church's website, you'll also see how that you can do that. I want you to join me tonight, if you can, at 7 o'clock for a story before we all head off to bed. And on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock for some kind of a fun activity. Last week we made pretzels, and we talked about the three persons of God. And so I don't know what we're going to do this week, but hopefully it will be something fun and that you'll enjoy. So if you'd like to join us. And so I'm going to just close us all off with a quick prayer. Almighty God, we ask that you strengthen us to do powerful things in your name. We want to be strong in every way, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Only you can make us strong. We are sorry when we try to do things on our own without asking for your help. We know that you are so strong and can do anything. Please help us so that we can rely on you and grow stronger in our faith. Amen. Peace be with you, my friends.